Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, we're about to do a 4v4 on the map Arabia between me and the viewers. Now, it's going to be dry Arabia, so it's a little bit different than the regular Arabia in that there is no little puddles of water in the trees, so yeah, that's really nice. That's probably one of the most annoying parts of Arabia. It makes it very, difficult to wall, can be very unfair. Thank you so much for subbing to the stream, Deer Hunter. Sometimes my little Twitch alerts thing does not work quite properly and it doesn't always show up, but it does sometimes, and that's all that counts. Right, GLHF, this is going to be a higher rated match, so the players in here have a relatively high skill caliber. Some of the top HD players here. We got Arjun, of course, now. Virus Pablo is quite the guy from my stream, and literally, like, that's his name. Yeah. So, ooh, Aztecs. Okay, I got a billion Aztec videos, but why not? We'll play more Aztecs. They're really bad in the pocket, but whatever. So anyway, he has a really low elo, but he says that he, comes from Goobly, and that he's actually pretty good. So, we believe in him this once. We're going to give him a shot. Don't fail me now, quite the guy. Looks like he's on my team, so we gotta believe. Now, so here's something that's really interesting if you're watching this live, or by the time you watch this on YouTube, assuming it's not too much after the fact. Find the date that this was recorded in the video description. As Zarek Elliott, I believe, is the guy who requested that. Aoe2 HD actually got an update today, which is absurd. It's been a long time. There was a lot of speculation on the Aoe2 subreddit that this game's development had been abandoned, and yet we got another update today, which is really promising, and I think that it's important, guys, that we show some love to Microsoft. Send them a nice tweet, with a phrase #updatelove, and just really show them that we appreciate them, still putting the necessary work into this game to, make it a much better experience. Well, the, miscellaneous bugs and issues haven't really been too bad for me specifically. They've been really bad for some players, and it'd be nice if, we get the little update level we need, especially for Age of Mythology Extended Edition. It seriously needs a lot of help. Well, good night, Muckle Man. Thank you for tuning in. But yeah, AOM really needs an update, like so very badly. And I'm really glad that it, got an update as well. So I'm hype. #updatelove, guys. Let's do this. Oh, thank you, Deer Hunter. It means a lot to me, really. I have the best viewer base in the world. I say it a lot, but I really do, and I feel like not too many, people who do content on Twitch and YouTube can really say that, but my chat's awesome. Like, my YouTube comments are great. I love reading your guys' comments. It's fantastic. I've got such a great, loyal viewer base. It's fantastic. Love interacting with you guys. That's why I spend so much time, streaming, hanging out, answering your questions, comments, blah, 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 because I love it. Now, Aztecs on Arabia can be extremely good in like a 1v1 situation, definitely. They have very powerful drush due to the fact that in the Forgotten, they start with extra gold, and in regular AoE2, they start with, free loot, which is just a fantastic, absolutely fantastic early game bonus. Really allows them to get out a really strong drush, which of course stands for Dark Age Rush, in which, players will make a bunch of militia, usually 3, maybe sometimes 5, really just try and harass the enemy economy. Militia aren't, strictly too much stronger than villagers with looms, so, the point is not to take them up in a straight-up fight, rather to use your militia to force the enemy villagers to, punch you back and stop gathering resources briefly, and that type of thing can actually slingshot you ahead. It can make the investment that you spend slowing yourself down through the ages by going for militia and spending all that food and gold on it. And, it actually does even out, and the drush can be extremely beneficial if you're, adjacent to somebody, get into their wood line, their bushes. You try and stay away from the town center and go for their exterior resources, do some serious work. So the Aztecs very, very strong in the 1v1 Arabia for sure, and, they have their place in the flank. Now, the problem is with the Aztecs in the late game on Arabia is that... Oh, don't! Yeah, there's a little bit of delay. Oh, there we go. Not bad. So the problem with the Aztecs on late game Arabia is they don't really have, too much stuff that they could do in the pocket. Eagle Warriors aren't the best unit compared to Knights. They have very bad stats. You have to upgrade them, in the Forgotten to regular Eagle Warrior before they can really do stuff. Oh, thank you, Celathire. Gonna get banned for that one. No, I'm kidding. So, they got Eagle Warriors, which really just don't fail in comparison. They pale in comparison to Knights. They really don't match up very well in that regard. Knights do make short work of the Eagle Warriors. Now, the thing is that the best counter to Eagle Warriors, of course, if they're giving you a hard time, is definitely the Longswordsmen, and not actually Knights, but Knights work extremely well as well. So yeah, the Eagle Warrior is not so good. It's like when you get to the Imperial Age as the Aztecs, you really don't get enough of the power spike to really justify them being in the pocket. It's really not. It's not the best. They really just don't get access to anything like super duper powerful in the late game. Their Eagle Warriors just, you know, while they hit very hard, unlike the Mayan Eagle Warriors, they just don't have the, you know, the bulkiness, the tanking ability needed to go raid the opponent. They just die too quickly. They're still pretty good, and I guess I'll go for like an Eagle Rush to show you guys how that works. Thank you so much for subscribing, WCS Drac. Oh wow, thank you for showing up as well, Sujan. See you around, man. Great to have you as always. So yeah, Aztecs pocket on Arabia, not very good. Not very good, but we're going to try and make it work, go for Eagles. It's not the worst strategy, definitely, but, you know, against some of the better players in the game, they will be able to take advantage of that lack of a, you know, mid to late game power spike. The Aztecs have an incredibly powerful early game, but from the pocket, you're really too far away from your opponents to make good use of your strong early game and just snowball an advantage. Now, I actually have a very strong map in that, you know, this area is very easy to defend, wall off, but I'm in the pocket position as I'm not adjacent to an enemy. I'm surrounded by my teammates. It's going to make me very hard to get pressured, so I don't think I really need to do too much walling off, but I might do that. Again, I can just, you know, close off all of this stuff. I got a nice little back gold, very safe wood line, which is naturally protected by this gold mine. I can wall all this junk off. I think this is some of his sheep. So we just send Ogas some of his sheep. Now, of course, guys, brief disclaimer, as always, is that during these matches, my attention will be divided between playing the game, reading the Twitch chat, and trying to provide a meaningful commentary, so pardon me if my, you know, level of play isn't quite as high as one would expect, but that's not really the point. The point of this is to try and teach you guys a little bit more about the game, interact with you guys, hang out, have some fun. We're not winning any tournament games anytime soon, so, yeah. Not really too concerned about that here. I mean, like, my map is actually awesome. Like, when I look at this, this is just great. Like, my berries are just naturally defended, and I'm not going to get rushed in the pocket anyway, so not that I need to really worry about that. So I guess the plan is here is I'll try and fast castle into Eagles anyway and see where life takes me, but, you know, where life's going to take me is more or less probably the dumpster if I go for that, but we'll see, we'll see. It's a shame LB didn't get to play in this game. There was a little bit of a file conflict. Not quite sure what was going on. Not quite sure. Either way, if you're watching this, I should let you guys know that, you know, I wanted to say thank you again for all the really kind support and feedback that you guys gave me for all the wars coming and the commentaries I did in expert games. You guys seem to really enjoy that. And that's something I want to do a lot more in the future. I've been really busy with midterms and stuff, so I haven't been able to do that too recently, but I will try and get back into that as soon as I have the time. It's going to be very time-consuming, but, you know, that's the idea. Sounds good, Sam Cross. Sounds good. Ooh, that's a great question, Red Star. I would say more of the macro style, you know, of basically any macro skills that you learn from other games really do help a lot in AoE2, I think at least. So, you know, being able to manage a strong economy, knowing when to expand your base, etc., can be very, very helpful. So if you know good eco-management, good broader macro strategy, the micro isn't as important in AoE2. I mean, it can be at the really high level, but you know, it's more important that you actually know what you're doing. Like, if you're going for, like, 20 militia, if you can micro them like a god in the Dark Age, it won't make a huge difference if you have 20 militia. It won't make a huge difference. So it's important that you have a understanding, I think, of the broader game strategy, but micro is important as well. I think that good micromanagement, like being able to stutter step your Marines from StarCraft, helps a lot when you're going for Archer Rush and stuff. Yeah. Fast imp into Eagles not viable if flanks can stall. Yeah, kinda I lead. It really doesn't work that well in general. Perhaps that's something that I'll go over in a little bit more detail. Really, they just don't have the power spike or the game impact that you would expect from when you're a pocket player. You know, this is Arabia, so high-level Arabia pocket games. You know, usually players will go for Knights or something like that because they're mobile. If you're Huns, you can go for Cavalry Archers, and that way you'll be able to... They're powerful, like those are units that are stronger than Feudal Age units by a substantial margin. So you get to really exploit having that advantage, right? That you are an age ahead. It's very, very important that you're able to do that. And you can take care of the enemy flank, so you can protect your adjacent flank and then heavily, you know, put a lot of pressure on the enemy flank by having that huge power spike in units that you wouldn't have otherwise. Now, I can close this area off, although I do want to mine that stone eventually anyway. Probably go for a market here, because I can actually sell resources. add it for the Eagle Warriors because they cost mostly gold. So, you know, that'll actually be pretty helpful. So go for the market here. It's not like I need any other type of military building. And Eagle Warriors just don't have the stats really to keep up with, you know, other Castle Age units. Thank you, Pistache Newt, so much for renewing your subscription. Really appreciate it. I don't know why Twitch Alerts doesn't, you know, always update that. I'm going to see if I can fix that soon. It might just be that I have to switch over to a different program. That's fine, too. Now, this is not going to be the best fast castle, because I didn't really go on deer or anything. I'm more or less trying to read what you guys are talking about. But yeah, I got a great map. Be able to close all this area off. Not really a huge problem at all. Should be easy sneezy. Yep, alright, up to the Castle Age. Again, could have been a lot faster. A lot faster. Well, I do need to go heavy onto gold a little bit. Put down another house. Be able to put like a barracks like right over there. Double bit axe is important. I'd rather delay my barracks to get that. Forgotten, in the Forgotten expansion, cartography is free, so I'll go get that as well. It's looking good, looking good. What do I think of the Turks having the tankiest cavalry archers in the game with the Forgotten? I think it's underrated, and I would love to see, you know, like the top level players, like the Viper, Jordan, you know, etc. Mr. Yo, be great. I can go out, there's a laundry list of amazing talent in Aoe2. I'd love to see them give it a shot and show us the real potential of a lot of these civs that we really don't get to see too much action of. I'd really like to see that. I think they're underrated. You have a lot of great gold costing units though for the Turks, so it's not something I would do all the time, but I have had some limited success with it. It's interesting. What I like is that it adds a lot of options, and it's not like if you're playing in, you know, unless you're playing in any tournament games, I think that it can be a great fun strategy. Cav Archer is not so great outside the Huns because they're pretty expensive. But you know, I think it can work. It can work. You know, we don't really get to see too much of the highest level of Aoe2 really experimented with, because none of the pros play the Forgotten. It's a shame. It's a shame. Yeah, part of it is that, you know, not all of them are huge fans of the balance changes, and, you know, also part of it is that, you know, learning all the new changes to the game can be, you know, really difficult. So a lot of them would just rather kind of stick with what they know and understand. Now, is this actually a perfect? Oh, no, it's not. All right, there's going to be a one-tile little gap. It's not the best. It's not the best, but, you know, I can close that off. My base really well defended. I see that Orange is already struggling against Argidon, so, I mean, I don't really know if I need to gang up on Okerville. We'll see. But that would probably close out the game.
Yes.
Barracks coming down, you know, if I did this right, I would have had the barracks up already, but my eco is not quite balanced right for this. I have way too much on food, I think, so that was a mistake. You know, I never really, and I've done this before, like, better is just on stream. I have way too much food, so. You know, I can always buy wood, so that's one of the reasons why I build a market on stream a lot, is because it allows me to compensate for, you know, weaknesses in my play. So put down another barracks. Again, I got a nice makeshift wall off here. Knights can kind of swing in on this side, but I'm going to put a house over there real shortly. Barracks coming down, I'm going to make a couple eagles, and yeah, Okerville seems like he's not having the best game, as he's playing against Argidon, who's insanely good, so I think I'll, you know, go attack someone else if I can. There will be another low-rated game after this, Strategio. This is the first time I've made it to your stream. How do I play with you? Well, welcome to the stream, Sam Cross, Sam Koss, 89. Welcome. Glad that you could make it today. Now, I always do explain how the process works every time that I do a drawing, so I'll be able to explain that when that happens. It'll be after this game. Basically, I'll type a little predetermined phrase into the Twitch chat, and, you know, it's all fine and dandy from there. Gonna get the defense upgrades. Very important when you're going for any sort of melee raiding style thing, is you always want to get your defense upgrades real early. Do some serious work. Looks like this guy's actually getting owned real hard, so I'm gonna go send a couple eagles. Coming. This guy's getting owned real hard, so I'm gonna go send some stuff over there. Looks like this side of the map is real secure. Okerville having a lot of trouble, but so is our good friend Quite the Guy, aka Virus Pablo. Might actually be able to put down another TC. I mean, this is great. Actually, I really dig my map. That's not bad. Alright, what exactly is going on over here? Again, this is why our Eagle's not the greatest, but I'm Aztecs in the pocket, so my options are limited. I could have gone like crossbows, but they're just so slow. Okay. I also need more gold miners. So yeah, this is kind of how you do the Eagles. There's a really interesting strategy that was circling around, you know, Zone back in the day and whatnot. I don't know if you guys have heard of this, probably not. It's called a clue, which stands for Kid Lightning's Eagle Warrior Rush. Now, I might not be the best Aoe2 player out there by far, but I do know an awful lot about the game because I have no life. I played way too much of this game, watched too many replays, and I've been around. I like to talk about games more than play them, actually. I'm more of a theory crafting style dude. So basically, yeah, there's this thing that was popular for a little bit called Kid Lightning's Eagle Warrior Rush, where you would go for a really, really fast, I mean like a super fast, that's why it's called, you know, Kid Lightning, because he's super fast. Go for a real early Castle Age, like on a relatively low population, try to get there about 15, 14 minutes in. You know, so you have a pretty weak economy, but Eagle Warrior is not very expensive, so it's okay. It's okay. And then you want to just try and catch your opponent off guard with that Feudal Age to Castle Age power spike. Because, yeah, Eagle Warriors are still able to, you know, really compete with Feudal Age units quite nicely. They're really good against archers and whatnot. You know, they're not amazing compared to knights, but they're still good. And you can exploit that power spike if you get to the Castle Age really, really soon. They just really suck against knights. That's the real problem. Now, I think I should get squires, actually. What? Where did my... Okay, I guess my Eagle Warriors were all chasing that one scout. Well, that's just bizarre. I'm gonna start doing some heavy raiding, though, rather than just defend all game, I think. Yeah, alright, I'm gonna move out a little bit. That one's actually a really interesting strategy, I think. And I think Eagle Warriors are better than they get credit for, but if you're playing against, you know, top-level players, they tend to be able to punish you for that. As the Mayans, at least you get that really nice power spike. Because they're super duper tanky, which makes them great raiding units, and that's why we're getting the defense upgrade, so we can survive a little bit more hits from the you know, ranged units like crossbowmen, which can cause a lot of trouble, as well as the town center. So that's why we're trying to get the defense upgrades like right off the bat. So I'm trying my best this game. I'm doing all right. This is gonna be a tricky match anyway. Eagle Warriors have a really slight attack bonus versus cavalry, but it's kind of you know, doesn't really matter. I'm just pumping out stuff. Should be good to go. I have a lot of gold. Probably don't need this much gold, but that's fine. Out of all the things to be floating, I mean, gold for Eagle Warriors is pretty nice. Time to go in. Do some raiding action. This guy seems like he's probably walled up. If I had to guess. Alright, he's up to castle. Not the greatest. I want another barracks so I can tracking. That extra vision's actually really nice. So, okay. And also like another lumber camp if I can get it. What's going on over here? I'm gonna see if I can slip into his eco a bit. Just need 8 wood. Come on, come on, come on! Sorry I'm not able to read the Twitch chat as much as I'm actually trying to focus a little bit more on this game. It's a higher rated game, so gotta put in a little bit more effort. The nice thing about Eagles, though, is they do create really fast, and you don't have to, like, really go too hard into an economy for them. Be able to kill the Spearman for free, though, that's, you know, every little bit helps, I guess, right? Oh, he's got a lot of crossbows. Okay, alright. He's got expos, and that's fine. So I'm just gonna pull out there. Gray, dangerous, has lots of expo. I will go to red. Okay. Make more stuff, get tracking. Always prioritize the defense upgrades for your melee units, and then range upgrades for your ranged units. Where can I find this man? He should be real careful in this situation. Be real careful. Okay.
Enemy now.
Start mining some stone, I think. Forging is in order. That's gonna help out a lot. Okay. Make more farms, make more vills. Always keep the vill production rolling until you get, you know, enough military, until you get enough villagers that you can sustain military production, basically non-stop. It's very important. So we're gonna try and get about half the max pop of the game to be vills. I'm actually playing this quite well. This is working out decently. Well, it looks like I pulled a spearman. I mean, these eagles are pretty tanky, so you know they can take a hit. Get in there, try and do a lot of damage. This is me playing a little bit more seriously, but I'm not. The problem is I'm like in a terrible position that I'm Aztecs, so that's not the best. 3 dudes. Sorry, Ready Teddy. But your flank has like way too many crossbowmen, man. It's too much. It's too much. I need to get like a siege workshop in his base, I think, actually. Really start. God, if I wasn't streaming, I'd actually be playing this match a lot better. Because I've had a pretty solid opening. I need to put down like a lot more TCs, rebalance my eco a little bit, floating way too much wood. I don't know, there's something actually there. It's blocking this. It's bizarre. Those are enemy knights. Okay. Try and get out of there if I can. There's too much stuff. Fuck that shit, man. He's too tanky. Get out of there. Yes. Try and boom up a little bit. How many vills did I send to go build that workshop? Hopefully a lot more than I think I did. Good on him to get that quick wall off. I need this workshop. He's going to be coming around this direction, so I'm going to try and cut him off there. Do a little bit of raiding on this guy's wood line, I think. Get out some more TCs. It's 200 pops, so I don't need to go too ham. There's like something obstruct. Oh, it's a hill. I can't tell in Aoe2 HD. Get me a siege workshop. Need to make mangonels on the side. Maybe I can sling him to imp. My eco's pretty imbalanced. Let me sling him to castle. Eco's pretty imbalanced. Hopefully this helps him in some way. Okay. That's not bad. Build a TC over here. What's the status report? Might actually be able to worm my way into the wood line. Okay, it looks like he's actually forced his way in there. I'm coming, man. I got a mangonel. Oh, man. Woo! He made it to Castle Age, guys. Congratulations, Ogreville. Actually, I think it's time to get a handcart. The macro's pretty sloppy this game, but I do have a powerful opening. We'll be able to mangonel this man. I don't care if I really lose those guys. It doesn't actually matter to me at all. Now this is good. I might be able to catch him off guard. Start charging him in just a second. That way you can't really run. You can run, but you can't hide. I'm just gonna try and run. Okay, alright, fine. You can run. You can actually run. You can run and hide. Now this here thingy is going to be really useful. Like I guess that's making him pull back. He's also pulling back simultaneously because his base is under attack. And we'll be able to send a lot of eagles to reinforce that. Upgrades. Okay. That's fine. This mangonel should really be able to defend. Yeah. Should be really good. We're looking real strong this game. That's what I like to see. Booming nicely as well. Should really start thinking about the next age at some point. University might be good. I'm gonna try and surround this guy as he's walked in the wrong neighborhood. You walked in the wrong neighborhood, son! Oh, it feels really bad, because since Ogreville is like really far behind, the enemy team is getting ganged up on pretty hard, and it kind of sucks to be Ready Teddy Zanato. Sabos, though, is doing alright. You know, the enemy team is playing quite well, but, you know, Ogreville got to play against Arjuden, and then, you know, that's always really rough. Yeah, Purple's really far behind, too, though, so this game isn't actually as much of a struggle as it might appear for the enemy side. Alright, well, I got a lot of mangonels in his base now, so that should basically have him covered. Yeah. Build a 4th barracks. You always try and add on more military production as your eco grows. And yeah, this is basically how you eagle rush. I could do it faster and better than me if you're not streaming, hopefully. You have less to do from a multitasking standpoint. Should be able to do a better job than me. Basically, you look at my build, you get a general idea of how this strategy works. Hopefully I explain the concepts to you in a clear manner, easy to understand way. And then from there, you should be able to improve it on your own. I always recommend that, you know, you give my custom AI a little bit of download and a little bit of that thumbs up love on the Steam Workshop. If you're looking for a good way to practice. Offliners have a nice casual way to play with your friends. because I think that it's a good resource to learn some pretty good habits. Obviously, not quite the same as playing as people, but I think it turned out to be pretty good. New version's coming out real soon. Although by the time you watch this video, 5B might already be out. So now this is just looking good. This is looking real good. Just making nothing but eagles, basically. Got all the upgrades I need. I should really start thinking about the Imperial Age. And now I think the next step on the list is to back up RG it in, go for the kill on green. Now, it might seem like I'm putting some of these eagles to waste here, but I'm keeping his entire TC idle, so that's fine. But I should still probably go into this wood line as well. Good reaction speed for him, and he's actually completely prepared for this. Really, I'm just trying to get idle time. It's okay if I trade military units for villagers or any damage to his economy. That's the type of trade that you want to be taking as a player. It's okay to lose some militia in exchange for some vills. It's okay to lose your archers in exchange for vills. You want to always be exchanging for villagers. Get that eco lead that you need. Now, next thing on the list is to click up. I could have sworn I got hand card a long time ago. Is that Nelson playing with me? I don't know. Which one's Nelson? Yeah, I can take this fight too. I really don't care. Could have sworn I got hand card. Sometimes you have to click multiple times in Aoe2 HD for things to work when it's a little bit laggy. And that's okay, I guess. So more farms are in order. I'm gonna need a lot of food to start getting upgrades out. Yeah, and then, castles to protect my base. Defensive castles, always important. Always very important. Really the important thing here is that I get to back up Argidin on this side, because, Gray is pretty weak right now. I need to give time for Purple to also build up, and he's basically fine. And in the meantime... So yeah. Got some barracks over here, so I can also reinforce them if need be. See if I can give a little bit of stone action. There we go. Yep, start transitioning to the late game. Doesn't normally work this well, but it can. I'll be able to get Garland Wars as well off this. Give my infantry an extra 4 attack. Looks like he's actually into my eco. That's really unfortunate. But, Aztecs do create military units faster, so I could think of worse things that could be happening right now. I mean, he's going to get to do some decent eco damage to me. But that's okay. That's okay, because I think I can start actually pressuring him a little bit. If we could get out a couple eagles, that'd be swell. These guys do not train fast enough, unfortunately. I mean, these are just knights, and they're Byzantine knights, so I can think of scarier things to be facing right now. But it's annoying nonetheless. I lose about 2 villagers, get a little bit of idle time. I'm not really too attached to this gold mine and lumber camp area anyway, so that's okay. How's this fight going? It's going okay. I need more unit production. Have I killed these guys yet? Probably not. Knights are just stronger than Eagle Warriors. Yeah. See if I can get them eventually. We'll get them someday. Not a huge deal. Not a huge deal. I want to put a castle inside my base, but I gave my stone to Argidin, so he can go have his way. Now, Sabah's basically pretty dead. These knights are still alive, but it looks like he's walked in the wrong neighborhood, and I think I'll actually be able to get him this time. And he should be dead. Alright, get Garland Wars. It's a little bit more important than conscription, but kind of a close call. Okay, got this guy finally out of here. Moving out. Too much wood, definitely. Macro kind of hard when I'm talking. Okay, we're moving in. I mean, this is part of the Aztecs. They need a lot of gold. I should probably just, take these mangonels, just move out. Cause a lot of pressure. Alright, it looks like we got him. GG, well played, guys. We did it. This is Aztecs Eagle Rush for you. Working pretty solid, honestly. I mean, this is a good example, actually. Yeah, I mean, not bad. Not bad. Doesn't always work out this nicely, but it can work. Boom! GG, well played. Good job, team. Nicely done, guys. Yeah, Purple and Oakerville, they had a pretty rough game. Quite the guy in Oakerville. It's a struggle. That castle. The defensive castle, thankfully, is from us. I do like to see the Woad Raiders from Ogas, though. Nice, nice. Kind of an underrated raiding unit. I've seen the Viper do that in a 1v1, go for Woads in the late game. I've also seen him go Tarkins before, but, Once in a blue moon. It's probably just experimenting. But they have their uses, and yeah. Stats on these guys, once you get some upgrades, they can be okay. They do a lot of damage when they get in there, but they tend to die really quickly. The Aztecs still do have a decent slow push. They do. So, you get some, barracks, you get some archer ranges up there. In the Forgotten, they have better skirmishers as well, which is good, because the Aztecs have always lacked a little bit of range support. They still do get arbalists, really good siege weapons with siege onagers, so they can kind of compete in the late game with a lot of civs from the close combat. It's more like from a mobility perspective on Arabia. Mobility is very important. The map is very hard to wall. You usually don't do the slow push style strategy. So it's important that in the pocket you get to make a good use of your mid to late game power spike by being able to boom. It's very hard to rush you because you're so far away. Yeah, that's how it works. Pretty interesting. That was a good game. It's a shame I didn't get to show off the, power beyond the Castle Age, really get the Garland Wars out there. You get them to, like, an additional +8 attacks, so the Eagle Warriors can really chunk things. Yep, pretty spooky. And one of the tricks that I did to remain relevant throughout that game and remain a threat is you can see that the threatening players in that game, a lot of them had a lot of villagers. I mean, we can see the trend here. I mean, obviously, Okerville and Quite the Guy have a very legitimate excuse in that they happened to lose a lot of villagers. They were pressured extremely hard. Their Castle Age did not come easy, so that explains why they have a very small number of villagers, and people on the enemy team as well. They just got raided pretty hard. But you can see that the really threatening dudes, they're threatening because they got the villagers out, and it makes a huge difference. Risk greater than drugs. Now, I don't know if that's what you meant, Django, by talking about military strategy, but I hope that makes a little bit more sense. I was talking about this strategy specifically, a little bit about the Aztec civilizations, a little bit about, Eagle Warriors in general. Please do let me know, leave me a comment, let me know on Twitch and whatnot if this, commentary and video is helpful to you in some way or another. I always like to hear what people like about my videos. Like, what am I doing right? What are the things that make you enjoy watching my content? I like to hear that type of thing. Okay, so, thank you so much for watching, guys. This was a fun match. I'm really glad that it happened to work out pretty nicely. Get to do something a little bit unorthodox. Yeah, it was quite nice. It was quite nice. I might do a co-op game, Arrow Death. I've done that before, actually, and it was quite entertaining, I think. My keyboard, I believe, is the Razer Black Widow, Seneca Dream. Yep. The Knights are always a struggle, man. That's what I was talking about with Knights being much stronger than Feudal Age units. You can see that right there from looking at Quite the Guy's base. I mean, the evidence is right there, guys. Yeah. These are struggle. Okay, so GG, well played, guys. I hope you all enjoyed watching this video. If you did, don't forget to leave me a like rating. This does help me out a lot. Until you run a YouTube channel, it can be difficult to know exactly how important like ratings are for exposure. So if you just take a brief moment to go do that, it helps out a lot. It really does. So, thank you in advance. Yeah. If you enjoyed watching this video, you'll also probably like the rest of the stuff on my YouTube channel. I have plenty of other Age of Empires 2 videos there, as well as videos for other games. So if you like this one, you'll probably like those as well. And of course, as always, thank you for your support, as usual. I'll be doing more expert commentaries and stuff in the future. They can be very time-consuming, but I think that they turn out well. The feedback has been very positive, so appreciate it. Make sure to show up to my Twitch stream. You can find a link to that in the video description. You head on over there, scroll down, find the schedule. That way you can get in on these matches, play with or against me. I'll be doing Pokemon on Sunday as per usual, but you can always find that schedule there. Yeah. We'll do one more game after this. Don't go anywhere. Do a low-rated game. Pleasure playing with all you guys. Really well played as usual, RG. Looking good. Showing us how OP the Chinese can be. Oh man. Chinese are a very interesting civ, definitely. I feel like they're a nice, solid, upper middle tier team game civ due to their team bonus partially, and they got a great wide variety of units. If I ever play the Chinese, I'll talk a little bit more about them because I think they can be kind of underrated. Interesting, to say the least. Either way, GG, well played, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. I'll see you all in about 30 seconds to a minute. We're gonna play a sub 1800 rated game. All right. See you all shortly. GG, well played.